abantu bakambwemu ku mulundi guno naddala kwabo abeerimbika oba abeefuula nti bakuuma ddembe wano mu Uganda so nga ate munnange omulimu omukulu gwa kutulugunya bannayuganda. Kakati ku guno omulundi people power bwekyo ate egenze ku stage ey'okubiri oba ku stage endala nti tugenze ku kye bayita identification. Nti gundi wuuli va ku bino ebyabaleebeesi bye baateeka abantu ku pandagaali kati nga bo bwe bakola nti oyo mutabani wa gundi ayambala akakoofiira ne bakujja ne bakutwala ne batta oba ne batulugunya. Naye kakati ku guno omulundi nga Bobi bwe yagamba nti temuggyako kamera zammwe, abaana kamera tebaziggyeko era balandise okubeera nga ba-identifyinga buli muntu yenna abakola oba abakola ekyo kyaba akola ebikolobero ku bo, abo abasasulwa nga beerimbika mu bodaboda, beerimbika mu bwamakanika ne balanga okubeera nga bakola emirimu egifaanaganako egya sobi. Nti essaawa eno sobi gwe tulinawo omusika wa sobi ayinza okuba alien skin nga yajjidde mu mbeera efaanagana ng'eyakakooza mutale sobi n'abalala. Gavumenti ebyedala ng'egyekozesa bakitatta okubeera nga batulugunya bannansi era gurupu ye enokoddwayo nti abantu banaza okubeera nga baga nti gwe wuuno mu gurupu ya alien skin okitegeera. Naye Akulira CMI omukulu Damulira ye byamubijjidde dda era waali kigambibwa okuba nti security yagyongeddeko dda eri maama we era ng'abantu beebuuza nti nga mmwe mutya nnyo okufa, mutya nnyo abantu bammwe okubeera nga bafa, lwaki oyongedde security ku nnyoko? Ffe tetulina bannyaffe oba abo ababadde nga mujja mutta tebalina bamaama baabwe baba baŋŋanda zaabwe. Kale munnange ono waali essaawa eno amaze okubeera ng'akitegeera nti abantu si bangu kubanga nabo kati baatandise okubeera nga bakola kye bayita identification.
Kati kavudde kwanjula vidiyo etandise. Gwe chairman wa LC wano mubadde mu lukiiko abasumba simanyi ne bakunganyiza okuleta ku kyalo. Kati mukakasizza nti information gye nagambye ku mutabani wammwe ntuufu. Mukakasizza nti information gye nagambye ku mutabani wammwe ntuufu. Era mumubuuza bw'akomawo mulimu ki gw'abadde akola mu Uganda omutuufu mugumanyi kuwamba nakotta bantu. Kati nyoko badde omukumisa abasirikale basatu kiki ekyakwongezzaako abasirikale abalala 8. Banyabo ne basebo bwe namaze okwabya Christopher Damulira amaka ga nnyina we gali yabadde amukumisa abasirikale basatu yayongeddeko abasirikale 8. Kiki ekikumisa nyoko wa kitiibwa nnyo okusinga abantu bona bootulugunya n'obatta? Lwaki wayongeddeyo amagye Christopher Damulira? Bw'oba oga nti oli musajja mukulu ng'era ng'otegere nga byokola si bya bufuusa, lwaki nyoko wamuyongedde amagye? Omwami ono Christopher Damulira ye bw'amala okukola ebikolobero bino yakisensinga kwe kuddusa abamu ku baana be. Obadde okimanyi nti abaana bo abasatu mmanyi gye bali? Sebo Christopher Damulira abaana babasatu, in fact bali 4 bemmanyiko kuli mukyala bendondola, wabula ng'abaana bo wabaddusa ne bagendesa wabatwala South Africa. Balina Dr. Mwita Semakula, kuliko omulenzi omu n'abawala 2. N'abalabe wakweka nabo tukyabanoonya omuku omukazi ono aleseko omupoliisi n'oli omulala sinnamufuna nkyanoonya footage we then tulyoke twabeko emipiro yoka okitegeere nti ensi ekutambulirako. Abaana bo basatu bali South Africa, abawala 2 n'omulenzi omu bali Potchefstroom mu North West province e South Africa gye bali. Bali ne Dr. Semakula yabalabirira kusereza omusolo gwe nga bokola ebikolwa okutta abantu.
Kyemulina okumanya nti abangi we basonga abantu tebasobola kubeera bakyamu nti era ebintu tebisobola kubeera nga bigenda byegatta nti era abantu abo nti babeera mu gurupu zezimu beesanga ku bubaga n'ewalala kubanga already gurupu ya alien skin nga bwe yatulaalika nti kigenda kusukkamu mu kalulu nga bamaze okuba abantu mu lubiri. Ekintu ky'essaalabako nga oba Katikkiro avumirira kyenneewuunye nnyo by the way. Ng'ate ndaba butabaganya palaso na alien skin. Omanyi waliwo omuntu omu yali aŋŋamba wano nti mu Uganda tulagi mwebuza amagezi tuje tuwa emboozi ezirika mutuwa za alien skin n'abapalaso. n'atamanya nti amawulire gabaako entandikwa gye gava nti musobola okubeera nga mukola amawulire kye bayita developing story kati bwejja ne developinga bwetyo neetuuka kati wano we tuli naye byayogerwa mu mpuuka ekyo simanyi oba mukitegeera naye kati already banaso okubeera nga ba-identifyinga era omukulu Damulira nga n'abo abali ku bubaga bakola obubaga beesanyusa bamaze kubeera nga bakola ebikolobero ku bantu babeera bonna bakinywi era nga bebali mu group ya alien scheme bano already banaso okubeera nga baba-identifyinga
wano mu kifaananyi yono wolofu mumulaba yoyo wolofu omulaba bulungi nnyo kati Damulira ab'ekyalo kye bakuwakanidde simanyi biki kati ono ye wolofu abeera ne alien scheme era nga naye y'omu kabinja kajja ati kokolagana Damulira tolinawo ogendako wakanya bikolobero byo ono ye wolofu omulaba bulungi nnyo yambadde nakiri ekisanya kya New Vision kyembalaze kati omukulu oyo era yono wano yoyo wolofu era naye group ya alien scheme ngera ke kabinja akakola ebikolobero by'okuwamba n'okutta abantu kati wulira bulungi nnyo omukulu ono eyabadde mu project y'okuwamba n'okukuba abantu ngali mu uniform za jati oyo y'omu gwe bayita wolofu era ngali mu gganga ya alien scheme naye nga wolofu ono asibuka bw'ayiise kati ye gurupu eyo Damulira ddayo gamba b'ekyalo kyo basitatement bakondeminga ebikolobero byo guwa kuliyetinga gangs mu Kampala oyo gwe bayita wolofu mutegedde bulungi ne mu video yabaddemu kati ono gwembalaze ye Hakimu Kizza era naye ye ttiimu yaani ye ttiimu ya Damulira ono mwamulabe na Hakimu Kizza ye gurupu ya Damulira ono avuga boda naye nga naye gurupu ya alien scheme
ku nsonga eno okwegaana ko kale kubaawo naye okwegaana tekitegeeza nti tewazza musango oba nti ekyo kye bakugamba oba kye bakuwemulugunyaako tewakikola tolina kyokimanyiiko kuba ne Museveni mulungi nnyo mu nsonga eno kati bino bye twogera essaawa eno ye commander in chief Muhoozi ye commander era yawaana bajja ati juzi nti mwebale kuba bannoopu naye abakozesebwa be baani kati okwegaana osobola okwegaana naye nabagamba nti bw'oba yagala okutegeera omuntu nti ono alimba ono talimba gwe buwuliriza byayogera ojja kutegeera kati omwami oyo nti newankubadde nga omu ku bo asobodde okuvaayo n'ayogera ku abo aboogerwako naye byayogera tebigatta kubanga ku mikutu gye mpulidde gye tumulabye ewalala yonna ng'alina ebintu bingi nnyo alina engato z'amagye ate ebifaananyi tebisobola kubeera nga bimufaanana nnyo ye bikimufaanana ekifaananyi ekyo kale yeegaana y'okwegaana yeegaana
Bwana Hakimu byatandise bitya okuyita owajja ati
ebintu bino okusookera gye ndinze byatandika ng'ebintu by'okusaagirira
bitya
olunaku lumu okwosaako jjo bwe byatandika zaali ssaawa 4:30 ez'okumakya naye nfuna amasimu aga wano mu Uganda mu seconds dakiika ntini nnyo
okusooka oli wa bodaboda
bwe kiri
ovugirawa
nvugira mu Kampala muno
ewammwe oli ova Luweero
nva Luweero eyo
kitundu ki
nva mu Kikyusa
tobeeranga kuwa security okay tugende maaso
kaakati saawa zaali 4:30 nentandika ofuna amasimu ag'okumu
ku lwokubiri
bwe nfuna amasimu nebuuza amasimu agankubira gano gonna gaaki ngenda okulaba nga nfuna n'ennamba eziva ebweru ennamba ezo eziva ebweru nensooka ŋŋaano zikwata
nga tobimanyi
nga simanyi kiki ngenda okutula ku WhatsApp yange nga waliwo ekifaananyi kibataddeyo ekifaananyi ngenda okisomako nga bantaddeko amannya era ne bategeeza abantu nti ndi muwuzi wa boda era nkolagana n'ekitongole kya jati era nti nkolera mukulu afande Christopher Damulira ne bateekako ennamba y'essimu era obaka bataddeko
ennamba y'essimu eyo
namba yange
baagijjawo
nange kye neebuuza Kaakati ne bateekako obubaka nti omwami oyo mumukubireko era ne bankubira.
Abantu ne basooka bakubira essimu.
Abantu bankubira essimu okutuuka olunaku olwaleero ndi mu ssimu nga 35,000.
Zikyavuga. Abakubira bagamba ki?
Abantu bano abankubira bantegeeza nti ekintu kyenkola si kirungi.
Bakugamba kyokola
na Uganda.
Bakugamba otya?
Nti ekintu kyenkola si kirungi ekyokutulugunya bannayuganda n'okubakuba n'okubatta. Abankubira era ne bantegeeza nti information yonna enkwatako
owuliriza
information yonna enkwatako bagirina era ngenda kisasulira. Abantu bano abankubira amasimu ekinnuma nti bankubira amasimu gakunteerako ssente nti yoba enamba yange registered ku mobile money.
Oyagala ssente?
Obubaka obuntiisatiisa era wendi wano ndi mukuti okuva lwenafunye ebintu bino sinnabatereera ewaka nti okuddayo ntambulira mu kutya olw'abantu abantiisatiisa okuntuusaako obulabe.
Otambula otya kati?
Yesebo.
Mbuuza otambula otya?
Ntambula ntya? Ntambula yange mbaako engeri gye ntambula ng'omuntu naye ntambulira mu kwekweka.
Essaawa eno
kuva ebintu bino lwe byatandise.
Mbeeko kyembuuza ekirala. Baatugambye nti oli mu ttiimu ya Alien Skin. Mwibadde bitambula mu kutambi obwo.
Alright. Kati gwe ekibuuzo ky'olina nti lwaki abajja tebambala obukookolo ndowooza okitegedde nti mwolekedde okubeera nga mubalaba nga bambadde ze masiki ng'eza COVID nga bambadde obukookolo olw'ensonga eya identification nti gwe mulaba yambadde akakookolo naye akimanyi bulungi nti waliwo abamumanyi bangi nnyo nti avugira ku bodaboda ya wali akola mu owino oba muvuzi wa takisi oba ayita takisi bano bwe mulaba awo bagayidi nti bwe mulaba awo naye ng'eri mujaasi ali ne mu gurupu kati ng'eza Alien Skin waliyo ababamanyi naye nga tebaagala kubakolako mawulire y'ensonga lwaki bambala obukookolo muganda wange. Naye omukulu oyo ye kyamulidde dda gwe kyoba omanya nti kyamulidde dda era akimanyi namuwuliraho nti bannange nafunye ekizibu kye sifunanko mu bulamu bwange kale teebereza nti ye kati yalaba kizibu nnyo teri yamukutte teri yamukubye teri yamusse naye kati waliwo bye bakuba bye batta bye bamenyeyo amagulu kati ate bo ekizibu ekyo bakidescribinge batya. Okay, kankulekereyo parliament mu sessions zaayo ez'enjawulo nga boogera ku nsonga ey'okutulugunya abantu aba opposition kuba munnamawulire ne gavumenti biki byeyogera okusinziira bw'oba osobodde okugumiikiriza biwulirizo owulire biri mu lunyaanyimbe naye sigenda bikuvuunulira ogenda kuba mubiwulire asobodde abiwulire kubanga nabyo byamakulu nnyo okutegeera.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker, and thank you for giving time to this particular subject that has been disturbing my head, Right Honourable Speaker, since I watched the news that a prospective member of parliament can come from nomination and is pulled off a motorbike, thrown onto the ground. Right Honourable Speaker, we have a history as a country. We cannot afford to see this happening in the NRM government, where we all rejoiced and thanked the president for liberating this country. Who are these officers? When I heard the police, the spokesperson for Honorable, I'm a former Felix Kulaije, speaking and saying they don't know these people. Now, how can people have guns, have sticks, beat up Ugandans, and nobody is arresting them? And they continued with this even the next day. I have raised the issue of officers covering their faces. If you are not criminals, why are you covering your faces? Why don't you want to be seen by the Ugandans? Right Honourable Speaker, I want to request, we moved away from the governments that were not democratic. Our constitution obligates the state to ensure free participation by all Ugandans. They are free to participate in politics and elect the person that they want. If that is not the way we want to go, can we scrap off these elections, Right Honourable Speaker? Can we go back to the movement to no party state, and we stand on individual merit? because the parties are now, we are getting divided around parties. If political parties are an issue, Right Honorable Speaker, we are requesting for constitution amendments. Can we have constitution amendments here before we go into elections? We are silent and yet the days are drawing closer. Can we discuss these matters?
Thank you. Honourable Minister. Right Honourable Speaker and honourable members, I appreciate the cross-partisan views of members. They actually feed into the government's desire to have a peaceful electoral process. The practical solutions we seek are fed by the processes, the roles, and the balance of rights and duties that you have talked about. So I think it's good to have this engagement, but follow up with it with a more concrete engagement between security, but also the EC, around the EC, and all the players to talk about and find solutions to these issues. Every citizen has a life that is sanctified, so I want to disagree with my colleague Honorable Joyce. It's not just journalists, but also everyone, whether a journalist or not, should be treated fairly before the law. So I want to allay your fears. There is no bubble, but in the unlikely event that it is there, the pressure points are being pricked by this discussion, and we shall together find a solution. I thank you, Right Honourable Speaker and honourable members. Now, honourable colleagues, I want to urge, okay, to use your platforms which you have outside this house, provided for under the Constitution, from iPod to all other parties, to engage on these matters, so that you engage with the principles. Because what was in Kawempe is really undesirable. It's undesirable. It's totally. I don't know how someone can be provoked to track someone off a border, someone who is from being nominated. Me, in fact, I said maybe this candidate is being campaigned for. I said indirectly, you know, but it's Honourable Bahati, you promised us. I've heard the minister said you visited, but I think we better hear from you because you have a date with the House on that issue.
The Miracle, who works with Stop TV. It is true he was injured and there was some limited operations on his face. The good thing is that his eye, according to the doctor, was saved. He's out of danger as we speak, and he has been discharged yesterday. And on behalf of government, I promised that we are going to clear the bills. He also had a complaint that his camera was damaged, but in the meantime we have agreed with the Minister of Internal Affairs that the bill will be cleared by government. So I extended our sympathies, and we continue to pray for him for quick recovery. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, no, Minister, I would have loved, for example, in the case of the journalist, you know, who was not part of people who made the parade and all that. I would have been glad to see a commitment of investigating your officers coming out clearly. The way of investigating others has come out clearly. It would have been, it would give confidence to other people who might be caught up in that fracas when they are not involved. So I don't know specific on that, then I call up. Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker and honourable members. Yes, it's true. In all this, there are always innocent bystanders. if I can, I wouldn't want to infer the guilt of the others, but certainly we shall verify, even reaching out to the journalist and find out how he was injured, who was responsible, and then we take appropriate action.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Leader of Opposition, to begin with.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I want to thank the Minister of Internal Affairs for responding to the directives of the Speaker. First of all, Mr. Speaker, allow me to thank you, government, for responding to the injured person by meeting his bill. Although you wouldn't have met it if you had not caused injury to him. And it's not enough, but there are more than one who are under the same state. Mr. Speaker, I want to inform General Muhoozi, the Minister of Internal Affairs State, that yesterday, and as of now, there's a video running around. There's a Ugandan resembling one of the judge, and people were almost going to kill him, thinking that the one was beating people in Kawempe. This is a common phenomenon in Africa. Sometimes some people say I'm resembling also you yourself. And if you commit an offense, I might be the victim or you might be. But for you are lucky, you have safety with your security guards. This is the situation, Mr. Speaker, we are facing. But when we were here, the Minister for Trade, who was acting as government, leader of government business, denied knowing anybody who was beating people. The processes of bringing people to book, summoning them, is within the hands of government, not the opposition. If there is any offense committed by a national unity platform, at any cost, it's you to bring them to book. But here we are having soldiers beating civilians with no sufficient cause. There's a candidate in this race. They are saying we're going to cause traffic jam. He's moving with a wheel loader. But for him, it's safer than those walking on foot on the roads. How would we handle that? Mr. Speaker, sir, we should go, members of parliament, and I'm repeating this, because we are giving challenges to our speaker. And I want to thank you, Mr. Speaker. You stated it here, that you are going to handle that matter. Members of parliament are summoned by, you summon them through the Speaker of Parliament. If I'm wearing an overall, which is red in color, but it's having national colors, what offense have I committed? I'm driving going to the rally where there is a new candidate or an NRM candidate, and you arrest members. Honourable Minister of Internal Affairs, kindly. Even NRM, actually, parades are committed everywhere. You must communicate, and always directives come out, respect them. NRM is wearing its yellow overalls, it's also berets, also because you know what is sanctioned under the IPDF Act, which was brought back to Parliament as a trained soldier and a lawyer. So, Mr. Speaker, I think we need to come out. Why do you beat the press, the fourth arm? They are fully dressed in their attire, showing that they are working for maybe Mr. Baramuzi, Honorable Mr. Baramuzi Radio, and others. I can take the information and I will conclude.
Sorry, colleagues, it's being worked on. Yeah, but we can continue.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker, and thank you, Honourable Sewungu, for giving way. Right Honourable Speaker and members, when you see the events unfolding in the Kawempe North by-elections, it leaves all of us in a bad situation. Those involved in the election, and even those other citizens, particularly the responsible members of this society. Now, when the issue was put for government to come and clarify and explain, I'm surprised, deeply surprised, that the Honourable Minister has chosen to tell what everybody wishes to hear. He has told the intent of the law and the aspirations of Ugandans. But what is at stake now is that there are hoodlums, there is the JAT, which is responsible, the core mandate, to crack on terrorism. And now you have an official exercise, a campaign exercise announced, and the government chose to deploy the Joint Anti-Terrorism Force. Why? Because from the word go would start from there. Who deployed? Honorable Minister, you could tell the country who deployed and why. Because we should start from there. And it is not difficult to find out. Even if there was some conduct of members.
Honorable Sachkubo, that's not how we behave on the floor. Okay? You came for information, and I hope your time is up. I'm sorry. Honorable Susan Amero, you donated your time. Now you donate.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Amero.
Thank you, Speaker. I heard the Minister talk about payment of treatment bills, but I didn't hear him talk about compensating the person who was harmed, because this is a breadwinner in his home. And there are so many people who depend on that person. So I wanted also that to come out clearly. But also, the other thing, Right Honorable Speaker, is for how long are the security forces going to take the law into their hands? And they go away. They walk out free. What are they supposed to be doing? If the police is to keep order, law and order, and then the police is using the gun, bat, and everything, including the knife in the gun, to point at this guy who is innocent, who has not been proven to be guilty, then what are we? I think something needs to be done, because currently the situation at hand is not good. We need to protect our people, and we need to do the things according to the laws that we are making.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. And I'd like to appreciate the Minister for the statement, but I'm very disappointed, especially as a journalist. The rate at which journalists are being brutalized in circumstances like this is very alarming, and I'd like to say to this Parliament that Miracle is not the only journalist that has been injured in situations like this. And most of the time, the government will try to compensate or to buy a camera to replace it or to pay the bills. But what are the bills? What about other journalists? Because, Right Honorable Speaker, there are many other journalists that are being brutalized, that have been injured. Some of them will never be able to work again. There's been Twa Muchibi at NBS Television, there was Yuda Musisi, formerly of BBS, there is David Dubowa of Daily Monitor, there is Ali Mivule, who is formerly of NTV, there is Ashraf Kasirie, who everyone knows very well what happened to him. There's Joshua Mujonga, and the list goes on and on. And from my understanding, I think the government takes for granted journalists, because first of all, you know that the pay for journalists is very little. So when someone is injured and then you go there and then you're buying a new camera and then you're paying the bills, you think that is enough. I don't think it is enough. And secondly, Right Honorable Speaker, I heard the Minister the other day saying, oh, they should be taken to court as individuals. But these people are in masks from head to toe. You cannot identify the person. So how do you go to court? How can they be accountable when you can't even identify them? It is very saddening, it is very heartbreaking, and I think the government should reflect on the things that you're doing. Even the people who didn't know about the brutality of this government are angry. Some people are not talking, but they're really boiling. And one day, Right Honorable Speaker, this whole bubble will burst. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Solo Kayemba.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Then Honorable Ongisto.
I'm Solo, not Kasoro. So.
Yeah. So stop using that name in the corridor again. Honorable Solo.
So, Right Honorable Speaker, many times the NRM government says that the opposition are spoiling the image of this country. And they say that we have made a very big part in scaring tourists and other people to come to this country. Yes. But Right Honourable Speaker, when you look at what is happening in our country, what happened in Kawempe, you can say that actually the police or this government is its own opposition of its image. It attracts the world to see whatever is happening here. Right Honourable Speaker, I was a victim on Monday. What happened in Kawempe? The judge people wanted to kick my private parts. It's only that I had the background of the ghetto in Ibrahim. If I did have tactics, it would be another story as it is now. When you look at the clothes I used that day and you look at them, you can't believe that it's a member of parliament that was harassed the way it was. The ladies were in court on Tuesday with Honorable Sambo Shabe. When you look at the way the ladies were beaten, others lost their backs. Yes, they did. Others, when you look at their faces, they were brutalized. Why are we doing this? The kidnaps going on as we speak now, Right Honourable Speaker. An American citizen called Charles Bukenya Mubawara, the Vice President for UNA, was kidnapped on Tuesday night in Nakulabi. We don't know where he is. This country is experiencing many people leaving to go and seek asylum in other countries because of the way the security agencies are handling. We ask who is ordering, who is taking over, but we have seen tweets of the CDF saying, I'm going to crush these new people. We condemn that. This is our country. We are born in Uganda, we stay in Uganda.
Thank you. Honorable members in the public gallery this afternoon, we have students and teachers of Cabo Seed Secondary School from Mubende District, are represented in Parliament by Honorable Kabanda David and Honorable Nakazwe Hopu Grandia. They've come to observe proceedings of this House. Please join me in welcoming them. Finally, you can stand up. You can stand up. Thank you. There they are. Thank you. Also, we have in the public gallery this afternoon students and teachers of Britannico High School from Nakawuka, Wakiso District, are represented by Honorable Charles Matova and Honorable Narima Betty Esel. They've come to observe proceedings of this House. Please join me once again in welcoming them, Honorable colleagues. Colleagues, furthermore, we have students and teachers of Immaculate Heart Girls School, Nyachibari from Rukunji District. They are represented by Honorable Natkunda Medias and Honorable Tahiko Erisa. They've come to observe proceedings of this House. Please once again join me in welcoming them. Thank you. Yes. Honorable Manuel Rongiso.
Thank you so much. I want to also thank the Minister for the statement. Right Honorable Speaker, I viewed some of the video clips and I noticed something that I want the Minister to take interest in. And that is, there was one of the ladies, a soldier, that was trying to pull her colleagues away from beating people. And what came in my mind, Minister, that's why I want you to take interest, is, was there a single command or there could have been two commands or various? Because how can you have a group that is so happy to beat people and you have this other person who is pulling them away? That tells you there could have been a problem. Right Honorable Speaker, one time on the floor of Parliament here, I stated that we are sending these policemen and soldiers out there. We don't know what is in their heart, because in their training, some of the things they are sent to do, they don't like. They know that it is not professional to be sent to do what they are being asked to do. And one day, like my sister stated, if one of them gets annoyed And that is why we also need to question whether some of them are doing it because they think they should do that, or they are doing it with the intention of actually spoiling the name of the government. You never know. Minister, you need to take interest, because some of them may be not happy and they think they should do something extreme in order to spoil the name of the government. So you need to look at all this if anything positive is supposed to come. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Nifa.